You're watching Griffon Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Esely and Ryan Menley.
One more time on the ground. Here comes Hill. Hill, look at him go.
This week on GSI, the storybook run continues for this Griffon, while the end of a career journey marks a tearful reunion for this Griffon. So get yourself fired up, put your tray tables in the upright position, because GSI takes off right now. Hello and welcome. We'll talk basketball in a bit, but let's begin with football, Brady.
Why not? I think a good reason to. He led the D2 Nation in rushing in 2012. And this past weekend, Michael Hill showed the big boys that he belongs.
There's tons of players that deserve recognition from Division II and that can go up and hang out with Division I. So, I mean, it's all about opportunity, and I'm glad that I had that today and could show out today.
Former Griffon running back opened many eyes at Saturday's Raycom All-Star Classic in Alabama. He was voted the game's offensive MVP by NFL scouts. Hill tallied 148 yards on 12 carries and 2 touchdowns against mostly Division I competition. Not bad for a guy who was a late addition to the roster. Missouri Western's all-time leading rusher got the invite to the game just a week in advance. He's hoping to get a shot in the NFL. He's definitely done his part to prove himself so far.
Prove that I could play ball. I can be physical. Where I come from is MIAA, and we play fast and physical. We're strong guys out there. We compete just as they do, and hopefully it put Division II on the map a little bit, and especially our school. And for myself individually, I just show that I can run the ball, run over guys, be physical. I need a little bit more top end speed. I should have scored on those 2 long runs, but hopefully they can just see that I can play and compete with everybody else that was there.
Hill does not have an invite to the NFL Combine. David Bass does, however. He's in Florida preparing for next month's big event. The former Griffon defensive end also in All-Star action last Saturday. He took part in the East-West Shrine game in St. Petersburg, Florida. Bass's East squad lost 28-13, but he made a name for himself in the week leading up to the game. Scouts have been very impressed by his pass rushing abilities. Griffon women's basketball continues to find team success on the court, but it was a personal moment on the court that captured the hearts of Griffon Nation on social media this week.
A tearful surprise reunion between a father and a daughter. Check it out. Griffon basketball player Lanisha Lawrence has become quite accustomed to life without her father.
Most of the time I've known Lanisha, her father's been away from home.
Well, it's been pretty hard because when I was little, that's when he first left.
But the reason for absence is noble, making this surprising return so emotional.
Nothing will top it, ever. That's probably the biggest surprise that I've ever had in my life. I thought it wasn't real. I thought I was dreaming at first. My reaction was just to cry because I haven't seen him in so long.
United States Army Staff Sergeant Barry Lawrence has spent years serving his country in the war. He just returned from Afghanistan. Before now, he hadn't seen his daughter in 10 months.
I knew that I would get a hug and a kiss, but I didn't know there would be that much crying. It was glorious. It was glorious.
We had it kind of set up a little bit where I knew they were going to show up about 3 and fully expected our practice to shut down about that point emotionally. I knew it was going to be a really emotional time for her and probably some of our players.
Emotional for all who witnessed, especially head coach Rob Emerson, who suffered the loss of his son last year.
A relationship between a parent and a child is obviously the best relationship there is. So, and the fact that he's done 2 or 3 tours and got to come home safe, that by itself is a great thing.
And the even better thing, there won't be any more surprise reunions like this, because Sergeant Lawrence's recent tour of duty was his last.
I plan on being back here for the remainder because now I'm about to retire, and we're going to follow our kids. Whatever they decide to do, that's what we're going to do.
Sergeant Lawrence says he plans to be there for all of Lanisha's games the rest of the season. The photo itself earned more than 1,100 likes on our Facebook page, and you can check that out here. That's a pretty cool deal.
That is a cool deal, and those images never get old.
No,
and
the stories never get old.
They never do, and boy, cool for Lanisha, and I can only imagine what she felt when she saw her dad.
Yeah, well, we'll talk more GSI basketball, more Griffon basketball when we come back.
The most helpful physical therapists in the world on dodgeball.
you'll never know when three-dimensional flexibility will come in handy. Stay healthy, my friends.
The most helpful physical therapist in the world on rocker shoes.
No.
This GSI Basketball Spotlight brought to you by the Missouri National Guard.
Got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the
And welcome back. Talking basketball. Griffon basketball on the road this week. It's Central Missouri Wednesday and on the road Saturday at Lincoln.
Yep, the women sit 12-4 overall after going 1-1 last week. Let's flash back to last week now. 11-3 Griffon women welcoming a struggling 4-9 Lindenwood squad to town, but it was the Griffons who struggled Wednesday. They forced 28 turnovers, but turned it over 27 times themselves, but they did rebound well, and that kind of saved them. Second half, Bearbell, the board and putback, plus the bonus. She had 7 points, 8 rebounds. Griffs by 7. Later, they'd continue to stretch the lead. Lanisha Lawrence, great move, great look inside to Casey Klauser for the and 1. She had just 3 points, but had 11 rebounds on the night. Griffs up by as many as 12 in the second half, but don't do your corny victory dance just yet. The Griffons let their guard down, and they let the Lady Lions get right back in it. Great ball movement to Marissa Lanick. Lindenwood would take a 1-point lead with 1:30 to play. Western needs an answer. They get it. Heather Howard, clutch, clutch, clutch. Had her average 15-point, 13-rebound type of night. Griffs reclaim the lead. This guy not convinced yet, but this would be the nail in Lindenwood's coffin. Lawrence with the steal and 2 as the Griffons hold on for a 65-59 victory. You know, this has kind of been the story of this season. Build a big lead, let the other team come back, and then scratch and claw one out. Head coach Rob Edmondson kind of tired of seeing it.
We keep letting people back in the game. We keep giving people their enthusiasm, their encouragement. You know, we're up 11, come out, start second half, and just jump all over them. And then we just go back into our sometimer modes.
Saturday, Griffons on the road at traditional power Emporia State. The Lady Hornets just 7-6 on the season, but undefeated at home. Western playing catch-up from the get-go, but Charnice Lewis keeping them in it. She had 14 first-half points, but she didn't score again in the second half. Griffs completely frustrated and completely cold for the game, shooting just 27% from the field, and they fall 62-55, the final.
Well, we're joined on location today by Griffon women's basketball head coach Rob Edmondson. And Rob, after last Wednesday night, I think you felt terrible after a win. And on Sunday at Emporia State, shooting the name of the game or lack thereof. Just reflect on the week that was.
Well, you know, it was a tough week. You know, I was, as you said, a little bit disappointed after our game against Lindenwood. You know, 28 turnovers. You know, just not playing clean, efficient basketball. But yet we found a way to win. And you know, you don't like to learn lessons from losses. But we are concerned with the quality of our play coming out of that game. And then Emporia, you know, on the road, tough place to play. You know, we gave ourselves a chance to win, but you just can't shoot that poorly from the field or the free throw line, and really expect to win. But when you look up at the score with 3 minutes to go, it's a 2-possession game, and you find yourself in the game. So that's probably, it's even a little disheartening because if you know you shoot better at all, well, you really have a chance to win the game. But obviously we came up on the short end of the stick and felt like we let one slip away for sure.
Rob, from what you've seen in game action and on tape, what does this team need to do to get out of the offensive doldrums? Well,
you know, I know for a large part of it, you know, offense is usually something that comes with a lot of consistency, and I think part of those is again having a lot of new players playing with each other, a lot of one-year kids that first time here, and they're just now trying to understand the league and understand the physical play of the league, and I think that affects us on the offensive end more than on the other end of the floor. So, you know, we just have to take advantage of opportunities we get. We're getting the free throw line plenty of times, and we chart missed layups, and we're getting a lot of opportunities and missing layups, and it just comes down to being, I think, tougher, just mentally being tougher.
Middle of a 3-game road swing now, and it doesn't get any easier. You go to MIAA leading Central Missouri Wednesday night. They're 13-2 overall, 6-1 in the MIAA, and then Saturday, got to go into Lincoln. Lincoln's 8-8, 3-5 in the league, but again, that's going to be a tough one as well. Just talk about the week ahead.
Well, it's a tough week. We're on a tough stretch. I mean, we've got 10 games left in the conference play, and most of those are against upper echelon teams. Obviously, Central Missouri, undefeated at home, 9-0, have not experienced a loss in their building. With the new pod system, depending on how the schedule falls out, some years you're going to be lucky when you play those teams one time, you get them at your place. This year, we've got them at their place. So we're going to have to go down there and be ready to play. They're a good team. They're very athletic, very talented. And then Lincoln is a tough place to play. It just seems like, a fortunate thing. We've been there. We were in a tournament this year. We've been on that floor twice. So I think that helps us a little bit in terms of going back and having a familiarity with their gym and the environment.
Hey, Rob, Easley's impromptu is on the road today. The ice cream cart will be driving by here shortly.
I need it.
Yes, I think we both need it. Kind of all over the board question. I said, don't know if you knew, this is Inauguration Week. Inauguration Day was on Monday. Do you have a favorite U.S. president of all time?
No.
It's kind of out of the box.
That is really out of the box. But you know what? And boy, I don't know if this is a controversial pick, but I probably two. It would probably be Reagan.
Okay.
And then Nixon.
Reagan and Nixon. Okay, that's a good answer. Number 2, out of the box. People come to games. They've seen you got a lot of dress in your repertoire. You got suits, you've got vests, you've got sport coats with no ties. Do you have a money outfit? What's your favorite outfit on the sidelines?
Well, I'd say probably in a big game, it's I'll go all black.
Okay.
Very slimming.
Is that like a mock turtleneck?
Yeah, mock turtleneck and a black jacket. It helps me a little bit with the slimming look. Yeah.
I'll have to remember that slimming look, all black. And finally, really out of the box, the NHL is playing again. First of all, did you know? And second of all, do you care? Do you know what the NHL is?
What does that stand for?
Yes, exactly.
I'm assuming that's hockey.
Yeah, it is actually.
And I'm just going to throw out the Red Wings. Is that a team?
It is. Yes, it is.
Are they any good?
Well, they have been historically.
That's the only team I really know. I don't understand hockey.
That kind of makes two of us a little bit. Coach Edmondson, let's understand a couple of wins this week. Good luck this week.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And GSI will be right back.
Clausen will hold no wind to speak of. The kick is up. It is long enough, and it is good! Greg Zerline from 57 yards away.
Greg Zerline came to me before football season last year. He just had hip surgery. He tore his labrum, which is a piece of cartilage around the hip socket. And in that surgery, they also found out he had a torn quad.
I was still having problems with my leg. And, I wasn't kicking the ball as far, and, I'd always have pain in my leg after kicking.
No one really found the cause of the injury. They fixed the symptom. But when he came to me, we found out that his left leg, his plant leg, was really unstable. The cause of his right hip quad tear was the fact that he wasn't balanced. So we analyzed his technique and his form, and then we went to work.
Working with Fred, he helped me correct that with some of his exercises, and going to his clinic really helped me, my leg to be fresh after kicking, and after working with him a few times, I could tell the pain would start to go away.
We have that training, that background. We have the facilities with the pool, with our technology to really train people how to perform at the highest levels.
I've done stuff that I've never done at any other physical therapy place, and I've been to a lot of physical therapists, so, it helped me, and so I think it'd be a good place to go in the future, and I'll continue to work with him whenever I'm back in town.
1 for 58 by snap. Zerline's first NFL kick is
Train like the pros. He's been a great person to work with, and exemplifies what we're trying to do here.
Welcome back, Griffin men with a tall task Wednesday at First Place Central Missouri and at Lincoln Saturday.
Yeah, the Griffs went 0-2 last week. They're 7-9 on the season right now. Let's take you back to how they got there. MIAA Wednesday, Tom Smith's Missouri Western men crossing paths with new conference foe Lindenwood for the first time ever. Lions led by former St. Louis University coach Brad Soderberg. This game back and forth for about 38 minutes or so. First half prepared for takeoff. Darius Fulton alley, Calvin Balky, oop. Much more where that came from. Griffs go to the half down 30-27. Under 10 minutes to play. This one's still locked tight. Watch how Freeman Flowers puts on the moves. That is sick. How about another angle? Flowers, 8 points on the night. We're tied at 58. Lindenwood answers, though, on the break. Darius Smith puts it up, draws the whistle, got it. Lions have a 3-point lead. Griff's trying to charge back, though. This may be the play of the night. Fulton forces the steal, starts the break. Here comes ball Q, and when you get dunked on like that, you just run away. Calvin had 11. Western within 2 again, but Lindenwood pulls away in the final minute. 30 seconds to play. Baseline is open. Richie Thompson takes advantage. Lions go up 6, and they go on to beat the Griffs 78-69 the final. Despite the highlight reel dunks, Western shot just 41% from the floor. Lindenwood 54%. That makes the difference.
We didn't shoot the ball well enough. We just didn't score. We didn't make enough shots to win the game. I thought we pretty decent defense, but at times where we needed stops, we gave up buckets. So that'll beat you.
You know, I don't think emotionally we were quite as sharp as we were Saturday with the Northwest game. But you turn around and you say 19 turnovers and 10 steals against them. You know, it's a pretty good defensive effort. And if you take out some of the fouling, you know, we probably would have had the game in the 70-68 type of game, and that was fine with us.
We go to Emporia, Kansas. Coach Tom Smith taking his final bows. Final game ever at White Auditorium before he retires. Nice ovation. Not so nice of a performance by the Griffins. They went cold near the end of the first half. Emporia opened up a double-digit lead, and Western just never recovered. Despite a career-high 20 points from Calvin Balque, the Griffins dropped their second straight, 71-60 the final.
And joining us now is Edmonds basketball coach Tom Smith. And Coach Smith, let's quickly look back to last weekend, the trip to Emporia State, and a couple of things this team had been doing well, taking care of the basketball and really getting a lot of production from a lot of different people. Didn't see that on Sunday, did we?
No, I think both those things are those two, and throwing in the low shooting percentage, I think really is what did us in. I think we turned the ball over 19 times, and ironically against the zone. When normally you're going to turn it over against man-to-man. Of course, when we'd gotten people to turn it over twice, 2 back-to-back games, and 19 turnovers ourselves, and then we go out and turn it over 19 times, shoot 43%, and have 2 guys basically in our starting lineup that give us almost no production whatsoever. And I don't think I think we've talked before that we're not going to be able to survive that kind of output from or lack of output from key players and be able to be successful.
You have had one guy step up, Calvin Balque. Nice surprise, very athletic player. Didn't really find his footing or his niche early on, barely played. In the last couple games, he's given you double figures and led you with 20 points Sunday.
Well, you have to give him credit. I think we've talked before on this very show about how tough that I had been on Calvin, because I really didn't give him much opportunity. And, he came in the other day and we talked for a little bit, and as most players do when they're not playing very much, what do I need to do to get more playing time? And one of the things we talked about was play harder, give us a better production. And, Calvin's a type of kid that as you look at him, you never think he's playing really hard, and yet
he jumps over you and dunks on you.
You know what? That's probably true. And I think the last 3 games he's had double-digit performance for us.
Middle of a 3-game road trip now. We head to Central Missouri Wednesday night, and first of all, it's a good Mules team, but probably more so for you. That's a place where your head coaching career started, way back in 1975. That doesn't seem like that long ago, does it?
No, it's like yesterday, sure.
Reflect on what that's going to be like.
Look at my face and say, no.
I don't know, we're showing a picture now. You look pretty much the same. You've held it together pretty well.
Great, thank you.
You coached 5 seasons there. Your last year, you led the Mules to 26-2. That team was ranked #1 in the country for 9 weeks in a row. What's that going to be like for you going in there Wednesday night?
I think it'll be fairly emotional. Just the thought of going in there for the last time and Even I know that the first time we played them when we went in the MIAA in 1991 or 89, yeah, 1991, our first year in the MIAA, and we went in there. It was emotional for me. It was really, really tough because it was the first time I had been back.
And you won too, by the way.
We won three games against them that year by 1 point, 2 points, and 3 points, and you know, and we're going to win that series too, by the way, when it's all said and done. But I think it'll be emotional, just from the fact that you know, I opened as a coach. You know, I was the first coach in the multipurpose building, and here I am going in for the last time. So that, coupled with the fact that I have a really good friend, Bob Russell, there in Warrensburg, who has gotten a contingent of ex-players of mine, somewhere in the 15, 16 of them that are going to come back, not only from the good team, but from my very first team. And so, you know, I think that'll make it a little more emotional also.
Well, the task at hand is very going to be difficult. Central finds itself as the first place team in the MIAA this year, 6-1 in the league, 12-3 overall. They've won 6 in a row. Kim Anderson's got his group playing pretty well right now.
You know, they are. I don't see anybody is unbeatable in the league, though.
No, obviously not.
And regardless of where you play them, I don't think that there's, you know, there's been some times when, you know, I think Central Missouri or Washburn or us at times when you're not going into those places and winning very often. But and I know if you go back into about mid-2000s, you know, in the mid-2000s, last place teams didn't go into first place teams and win, and yet this year you've already seen Truman win at Washburn, you've seen Lincoln win at Northwest, you've seen Kearney go into Southern and win. I mean, you've seen some strange victories. So, you know, I think we're going to approach it the same way, that they're certainly beatable.
Well, that's Wednesday. Saturday we head to Lincoln, and to look at their record, you see 3-15. You say, my goodness, you know, this is a pushover, but not so fast. They go win at Northwest last Wednesday night, which means they're good enough to beat anybody anywhere, aren't they?
If you can win there, you can win any place, and I agree with you. And I watched the Lincoln-Lindenwood game on Saturday. Lincoln's a very talented team. I know their record doesn't show it, but they're a very talented team. And again, certainly for us, I mean, we're not an overly talented team, and we're going to have to be very sound and you know, take out some of their athletic ability because they're very athletic.
Okay, Coach Smith, it's time for Esely's tantalizing trio. Our appetizer today is foie gras. You like foie gras, don't you?
No, foie gras, I can't stand it.
Foie gras.
I've never heard of that.
I know
I haven't either until Coach Smith enlightened me, and I heard it's not
European.
very good.
Well, you're
I
very
thought
cultured.
you'd be,
you know what? I wouldn't even try it in Paris.
Well, speaking of culture and patriotism, this is inauguration week. Of course, inauguration day was on Monday. Coach Smith, in the spirit of, do you have a favorite patriotic song? I know you're all about music.
America.
America, yes indeed.
It's my favorite.
Right along those lines. How about a favorite U.S. president?
Truman.
Truman, lovely. And finally, and this has nothing to do with patriotism, going into the multi, final time. What's a favorite multi-purpose building memory? Do you have one? Can you pinpoint one?
You know, it
can be either at Central Missouri or here.
I'd have to tell a story. Yeah. I think going back in there the first year and winning, I think, was one of them. But I have to tell a quick story. I had a player in the great year, the 26-2, that there was a long line of kids to get his autograph, and I looked over. His name was Terry Olson from Winnetonka and Penn Valley, and I said, we certainly didn't have anything like this at Penn Valley. And Terry looked back at me and said, well, you didn't have it here till I got here.
That's a good answer.
I thought you were going to talk about that time you got locked in the locker room there.
I have one question back to you guys.
Yes,
okay,
please.
Who is, name one ex-president that swore in another president?
One Taft.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Justice.
Cut
it, Justice.
Cut it.
Yeah, cut that now. That's Tom Smith. He's leaving.
You read it in the paper the same day I did.
I didn't. I knew
You
that.
did.
I know
really?
my presidential history.
Do you really?
Yes.
Well,
Taft was the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court after he was president.
I'll be right back.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Hey sports fans, I'm Major Mike Roberts of the Missouri National Guard. For centuries, Missourians just like you have volunteered to be citizen soldiers to protect and defend our country and the great state of Missouri. We are the Guard. As a member of our team, you can benefit from 100% tuition assistance, an enlistment bonus, or student loan repayment. To learn more or to join our dynamic team, please contact your Missouri National Guard recruiter.
All right, we're here with the Griffon Cheer Squad to talk about injury prevention. You know, cheerleaders are athletes and we forget about the injuries that are so common with cheerleaders. Today we're going to demonstrate how to strengthen the hips to protect the knees and the ankle from injuries. So I'm going to step out. We're going to demonstrate this exercise. We got them all banded up here. This is a mini band exercise program. We're going to go into a squat. As they go into a squat, they've already loaded their hips. Now they're going to clam their left knee out. They're going to do that 5 times. And then we're going to switch. Now we're going to go to the right knee, and we're going to clam that out. So what that's doing is that glute is having to rotate that femur. We're going to let you stand up, get you a quick break here. Now we're going to create more dynamic movement. So we're going to go down into our squat again, and we're going to make those hips really load, push off the ground, and as we take a sidewalk sideways, and then we're going to come back the other way. And right now, as the lower their hips get, the more they feel that burn. You know, the glutes are so important for cheerleaders because they're always jumping, they're always on their toes, and so it's real easy to get an imbalance between the calf muscles and the hip muscles. The mini band program is a great way to strengthen the glutes and prevent injuries. That's our key, that's our goal at Spine and Sport, train like the pros.
You know, paint it gold is a slogan we like to use around here, but this Saturday, let's paint it rainbow-colored spandex. The 3rd annual Zumba in the Roomba returns to the Griffon Indoor Sports Complex. That's this Saturday, again at 10 a.m. You're all invited to participate. No skills are required. The cost, a $5 donation, which goes to the YWCA Choices Program and Missouri Western Women's Athletics. Welcome back. Let's finish now.
Yes.
Well,
hey, you've been away 8 weeks.
Nice
You're
vacation,
going to put in for
man.
4 more weeks of vacation?
You know, some of us have to work over Christmas and New Year's.
Don't worry about it.
It's all right.
Whatever.
You know, just do your thing on Twitter. Let's finish with role
Save
play.
whales.
But guess what you get on role play? You get a crack at role play. He's role play this week.
Have at it.
Max, you are Manti Teo. You have a mythological girlfriend.
Wait for this.
Explain your. That's your mythological girlfriend.
There she
Explain
is.
your.
What a beauty.
But you know what? You filled role play very well. That's called Teoing, I guess, is what they're calling that. So you know what? The story's a week old, but I don't think that'll ever get old. You know, I also heard on Twitter that he stole your mythological girlfriend because obviously you're both mythological. So. Oh.
Well, don't get all upset about it. I mean, do I have to break you two up? My goodness.
All right.
Don't make me get out of this chair, Max.
Okay, sorry, didn't mean to offend you.
It'll take 4 more weeks.
We'll find you another fake girlfriend too to
over there.
Teo with.
Go make some more news.
I don't get him sometimes.
Boy, I'm sweating.
Yeah, I know, I'm a little worried. Okay, that's yes. Let's just end GSI now.
Hey, by the way, folks, paint it gold, go Griffs.
I met Gerald in 2010. He came to me after an injury he sustained in Afghanistan back in 2008. And he described to me as he was in his Humvee and got blown up by a roadside bomb, and that he broke his back, he broke his hip, separated his shoulder. Working with a Special Forces soldier, to think about the demands that he's got to go through. It's a whole nother concept of training like the pros.
So I've had really good progress. But it's been amazing, especially coming up here, working, utilizing the pool for the buoyancy factor, especially at the beginning, to kind of help the actual healing process. I mean, I've kind of transitioned from actual mobility to stability, and lately onto strength and resistance and cardiovascular training.
And it took him 2 years and multiple surgeries. But it was fun to see him go from broken to back in the Special Forces doing what he does best, and that's serving the country. And he was a great inspiration to all of us to see him go through that transformation.